Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michele Alignay. Magandang hapon, magandang araw, and I hope that you can join me for the rest of our session or for the rest of the week in this topic that actually being requested by some that I deem that it's very fitting. We need it in many areas of our lives, and we don't really see the gravity of this assertiveness skill to be able to help us in our relationships, even in our work life, and even in our well-being. Totoo, kasama yon. So join me for the rest of the session. Um, I hope that you can share this episode to family and friends who you think might need this topic. Oh, I'm happy that there are a few of you who are very early, um, even though it's a few minutes before 1 o'clock. Some of you come early, and I think that we want to learn. Tama ba? So for those of you who are here early, I would like to ask you, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word assertive? So naririnig natin madalas yan. Many times parang ano ba yan? Napaka-assertive mo. And sometimes it's actually not accepted by our culture even in our families, 'di ba? So ito tong pagiging assertive parang minsan it's really looked into as a negative characteristic. They look at it as a negative skill. So hello sa isang sister na napaka-assertive at kasing assertive ko, si Carmanuel, ayan, si Belle. Yung mga taong na nandito madalas. Oo, ikaw 'to. Yung mga taong nandito madalas na really engaging, actually, we don't realize but we are the assertive ones. Because we know how to express ourselves. We know that we are capable of, ayan, sino rin ang aga rin, speaking my mind and what I hold in my heart. Ang ganda, sis. This is actually very good. So, somebody said here, standing up for your beliefs. Yes, Imelda, tama rin naman. Pero alam nyo, ang maganda nating tingnan. Culturally, what's the usual thing that people connote when you say assertive? Ano ang characteristic, ano ang usual comment of our culture, even family members, pag sinabi na, oh, ang assertive niyan, what's the usual characteristic that you can put in line with that? When people comment that you're assertive, what's the usual characteristic or trait that it's connected to that? Can you share with me? What are your thoughts about it? Pabibo, yan, outspoken. Ang gusto ko yung word, pabibo. Paano kung bibo naman talaga, di ba? Hindi lang basta pabibo. Bibo naman talaga eh. Di ba? Outspoken. What else? What else? Very vocal, very articulate. Okay. Pero tama ka eh. Tama ka, Bel. Friends of the same feather. Totoo yan. And when we look at assertive, it's actually connected to, it's a path of power. Because voicing out, it's really power. Di ba? Tama, bibo lang talaga tayo, Doc. Yes. Voicing out and being able to speak, confidently sharing your thoughts and ideas and including your feelings. As Noreen said, it's about getting in touch with your feeling. That's true. It's actually very much connected to power. Speaking up, assertiveness is speaking up, but not exactly dominating. What's the difference with ang isang tao na assertive, may kaibahan ang pagiging assertive sa aggressive. You see that? It's very different that assertiveness is actually not aggressiveness. Yan ang kailangan nating makita because some people see that you're very assertive and then it's not okay. It's not okay. So you have to see that when we say assertive, hindi iyan aggressive. Ang aggressive, wala akong pakialam kung may masagasaan. Aggressive is, I don't care about what other people may say, but I just need to get what I need to do, what I need to say, what I need to say. You understand what I mean? So that is aggressive. Aggressive, when we say aggressive, there's lack of care. There's lack of collaboration. So you have to realize that that is exactly where we at right now. Okay, now what I would like you to realize is that assertive is different from being aggressive. And when we say assertive, it's actually um, putting up your boundaries so that people will not abuse you. You know what I mean? People will not natawa ko, Car. Oo, si Kuya assertive. Oo nga eh. Hindi nag-doorbell. Hindi tuloy, ako tuloy yung napag-deliveran. Inis. So, sorry. Assertive, it's actually being able to stand up for oneself in a non-aggressive way. So here, ay, boundary ko to. I don't like what you're doing to me. I don't like to be treated this way. I believe that I am worth more than that. That is being assertive because we are declaring that we are not less of a person. We are equals. So I would, di ba, I would assert my rights. I would assert my voice. I would assert my capability. And assertiveness is speaking up when others make demand. Speaking up when others make demand. For example, people might tell you, ikaw na lang gumawa nun, ikaw naman nakakaalam eh. And we can say that, hindi ko siya kayang gawin at hindi ko siya gagawin kasi I have so much load with me already. That is assertive. You know, workplace, and now there's a lot of burnout happening in workplace. I've been conducting sessions for workplace well-being in for the past months and weeks, no? Dikit, yun ang most of the times what I'm into. So people would say that, but the boss would keep asking me to do work. But then, do you actually tell them the reality of what's in your plate? So here, it's so hard for many to speak up when others make demand. Magkaiba yun. Kasama ba talaga sa trabaho mo? Pag kasama sa trabaho mo, ibang usapan yon. Pero pag it's actually added task or other, it's somebody's supposed to be doing it, but they are not doing their part. And so you are asked to overfunction. You know what I mean? And then that is something that we should assert. And also, assertiveness is making a suggestion or request from others. Car, can I suggest to you that you do this? Car, Belle, can I share with you? Can I share with you that this is something that might help you? That is assertiveness. Also, making suggestions or asking for what you need and asking for what you want. Ito para sa akin, ang perfect example ng aggression. When you go to dati, di ba, when you go to a place like for example, I would attend an event or I would be attending an event in a restaurant, or I'll be going to a talk in a hotel or something. People would ask, or maybe even when you visit friends and family, when they ask you, "Oh, how are you today? Would you care for coffee or anything?" Non-assertive people would just say, "Oh, I know I'm okay. Just about anything. Just I'm okay with anything." But assertive people would tell me, do you mind? I would really would like to have brewed coffee. Do you have tea? I would really appreciate if I can have, for example, fruit tea. Diba? That's assertiveness because we are actually requesting from others because they offered. Walang masama doon. Etong nangyayari, friends. For many, assertiveness, ayan, tama ka, Car. Ikayo, what are the things that you try to, you like simple things that you like to assert? Diba? I would like to eat this. And when people ask, or maybe your family members, or even your spouse would ask na, what would you like to eat? I'm not gonna say, bahala ka na. Well, sometimes it works that way. And sometimes we hope that it works that way. But there are times that, I think gusto ko ng ganito. And hindi ba, come to think of it, many times pinag-aawayan yan. Eh ba hindi ka nagsabi? Right? Nakakahiya. You know what I mean? Nakakahiya. Have you ever been in this situation that you regret not saying what you want or what you need, and then you get the least good part, the least you did not get any because you did not assert what you want. You did not say it. Because, people are not mind readers. Tandaan natin yon. People are not mind readers. That's one. One of the things that we need to remember, the need to be assertive, one, because we would like to express our rights, because that's actually taking care of our worth, that we are all equals. We are also a dignified person. And so I have my share of worth. I have my I have my stand also. And then that is why I would share what I need and what I want. Okay. The next thing why we should do that, because people are not mind readers. You know what I mean? People are not mind readers. They would keep, di ba, ang mga tao kung lulusot, makakalusot. Trish, it's nice that you're here. You're saying no and setting boundaries the proper way and respectful way. Yes, that's how it is because people are not mind readers. Bakit for example, abuse in the family. Why is some husbands becoming more verbal abuse? Or bakit pinabayaan itong asawa na gano'n na lang siya ituring? For example, that's the context of really severe cases. Because somebody did not asserted her rights. Somebody allowed things to happen. Somebody did not draw the line or put the boundaries. So for many, I would take from what you said. Car, you're saying that timidity is never a virtue. Humility is tama. But being mahiyain is not humility. Yes, totoo yan. Who run the world, girls, but not just common girls. Girls who know what they need, who knows what they want, and can express what they need. Kaya walang kahirap-hirap asawa ko sa paghula kung ano naisip ko. Talagang sinasabi ko ang gusto ko at ayaw ko. Tama! Kaya pag hindi pa nila na-gets, di ba? Pag hindi pa na-gets ng family members natin what we want at tatanungin pa tayo, clueless pa sila, ibang usapan na yon. So for many, being able to assert, okay, let's just quantify what are the not the what are the myths. Tama ka, unang-una, Car, humility, timidity is never, it's not timidity is not a virtue. So assertiveness is not being assertive, is not being humble, is it not assertiveness, lack of assertiveness or not being assertive is not equal to humility. Hindi sila konektado. And assertiveness, for many, it's about being not passive. Assertiveness is not being passive. That's what I'm saying here. So if is it being, I want to be humble, I want to remain humble. But that's different because assertiveness, it's not being passive. I, for one, I don't like just life to go by. You know what I mean? Ayoko magpadala lang kung ano yung ibibigay ng buhay sa akin. Yes, we have faith. Yes, we live by what will God provide us. But I think the Lord will really encourage us to be assertive with our lives and to be an active participant in our lives. I think that's the same. Assertiveness is actually being an active participant in our lives. Hindi kung ano yung iba to sa'yo, tatanggapin mo na lang lahat. Oh, well, that is smart here or masochism in another angle. But come to think of it, is it helpful? At some point, it may be helpful, but on other areas, it may not be helpful. When life throws you lemon, make lemonades. Yes, with honey. Lagyan pa natin ng honey yan, diba? For many, assertiveness is not sensitive up. They don't like to be assertive. Okay. Assertiveness is not becoming sensitive to criticisms. Assertiveness is not becoming sensitive to criticism. Why? Our culture, we've grown up, tingnan mo lang yung kultura ng Pinoy. We tend to always be the underdog. Tayo ang sinakop. Tayo ang sinakop, ha? Think about it that way. And think about how we were actually parang the passive figure in the dynamics during the Spanish era. And because of that, we feel that assertiveness, it's not accepted by many. And when we are assertive, we are attacking someone. Bakit hindi mo gusto yung gusto? Bakit ayaw mo ba ng gusto ko? So, lalo na dito, kung ang isang taong kausap natin ay mababa ang self-esteem. That when we assert ourselves, they feel that that's an attack on their part. But no, I am telling you here what I need. I am telling you here what I want. I am expressing my right, but I'm not attacking what you have. You know what I mean? So, other people finds it difficult to assert themselves because of the sensitivity of the people around them. I've heard of many people saying that, um, kasi naman masasaktan siya, magtatampo lang. What's your take on that? What's your take on that? Magtatampo lang magagalit lang siya Di wag na lang akong magsalita. So, because of that, anong nangyari? Have you ever been in that situation that you are not asked to speak up or you just chose not to speak up kasi para wag na lang lumaki. Kasi baka masaktan. Try to think of it. Not being assertive. When we don't assert ourselves, we are protecting the ego or the lack of worth or the false ego of somebody, but we're not protecting who we are. Does that make sense? Marami ay talaga iwas gulo. Tama ka dyan, Arnie. Iwas gulo. Pero come to think of it, yung iwas gulo, nandun pa rin naman yung problema. Hindi lang kinonfront. That's why in our culture, when you start sharing in the family, when you start sharing in the marriage, how you really feel about things, sometimes if the assertiveness is lacking in one partner, like the wife or the husband, kung sino man yung less assertive, nagiging tool yan as, yes, tama ka Dana, to avoid conflict. Assertiveness often looks offensive when in fact speaking up makes the relationship better. Avoiding conflicts pero assertive is not conflict kung matatanggap ng maayos. The problem is that if a person, whenever you would assert, they would they would remove themselves from the situation. Hindi ka kikubuin. Magagalit sila and then they will start projecting the issue at you. At ano ang tawag doon? That's another topic altogether. It just means that there might be that person you're dealing with might have issues on their self-worth. Right? Because for many, it is being able to be secure. That's assertiveness. Secure ako sa sarili ko. Other people cannot take it that the person asserting themselves is actually confident. They were able to share what is supposed to be shared. Yung nagawa nila yung hindi nila gusto na, oh my God, kaya pala ako nagalit at the back of your mind because she might have said what I've been meaning to say. Pero bakit sa kanya naniwala? Bakit sa akin hindi? Maybe because it's the way we show it. Assertiveness is about actually so I would like to share this with you before I move to the other part. Okay. Healthy relationships need couples and families to allow assertiveness. Alam niyo, favorite question to in parenting. Okay lang ba na yung ang daming ko narinig sa parents na, ano ba yung mga bata ngayon, napaka-assertive, alam ang gusto nila. Di ba pinalaki naman natin sila talaga na alam yung gusto nila? Why? If we look at it in the culture that people my age, I'm in my 40s, grew up then, our parents do not really, most of the time, the default of parents is that we are seen, not heard. Nakita lang tayo, but hindi tayo talaga binibigyan ng choice. And if we start speaking up, what happens to us? If the people in my generation, when we start expressing what we want to our parents, what happens? What happens? Anong nangyayari sa atin if we start expressing na, ma, kasi ganito yung nangyari. Ang tingin ng magulang natin dati, we are actually sumasagot. We are reacting to them. But in truth, it just might be that I just would like to share how I really feel. I am not attacking here or anything, but I am entitled to my own beliefs. That's why many parents are shocked that now, sintiron yung katabi, tapos para maririnig mo pa, napaka-ingrata mo, wala kang galang, sumasagot ka pa, ang dami mong alam. Ayan, narinig ko yan dati. But come to think of it, So going back to the question now in parenting, okay lang ba for the kids to respond, to answer? Ako, ang sagot ko, yes. I allow my kids to share what they want, to share what they really feel. But they have to do it in a respectful tone. And you share what you want because the goal here is to collaborate and for us to be open. Are you getting me here? Tama ka, Car. Pareho tayo, sister, eh. It never stopped me to be assertive. I remember I told my tatay when I told him not to sinturon me anymore. He can merely just say things to me. Yes, but I think our parents find it hard to put things in words. Kaya pag tinanong natin sila, bakit? Ang tanong nila, ang sagot nila, basta. Kasi they cannot have the clarity, the why, the comprehension. And for some, parang gusto lang nila yung rules. Yun na, malinaw sa kanila na ayaw nila. But hindi nila ma-communicate. That is why when we start asserting, sometimes, now looking at it, sometimes our assertion, it's because we are catching them. Now that I'm a parent, I realize that my kids or we then, we catch our parents' inconsistencies. Sumalangit tuwa si daddy ko. Pero we catch them and some of the things are at their whim. And then when we ask them why, their answer is, basta sumunod ka lang. Because it's hard for them to actually communicate. So that's when we start communicating, so tingnan natin paano rin sila lumaki. So when you start communicating, it's hard for us to actually assert because they are not accepting of what the way we express things. So for me now as a parent, I value that my kids express their wants, their needs, their insight, but they need to do it politely. They need to do so with respect. We do not accept in our homes aggression. I would just like to tell you, I think this is a very bad culture. When we're growing up and there are, nagsisimula na, syempre meron talaga mga bullies sa society, di ba? Diba, if you are like me and you dealt with bullies when you were younger, at may mga babaeng nang-aaway, ganging up the whole class against you. I experienced that when I was in grade 1. And then there's this girl who's ganging up the half of the girls in class. And then they would actually, because I'm a new student, so ikaw yung outcast. So, ang mangyayari, I have to tell my mom. Pero I think it's because of the culture that they grew up with. My mom is not the over-functioning in terms of pupunta sa school, aawayin yung bata. No. What I think is the usual thing na sinasabi, mami, umaaway sa akin, ang sabihin lang is that, pabayaan mo na wag kang kikibo. Have you heard of that? And that thing, pabayaan mo na wag kang kikibo, is actually not helpful. It's actually not helpful. Because if I was not able to transpose that, maybe because by nature I am assertive. By nature I'm assertive. I taught my kids to assert themselves because my kids are on the petite side. I don't like them being the subject of bullies. So when people know that they are confident and they can manage themselves, you will not be the subject of people trans what you sinasagasaan ka lang. So that matters a lot. So that confidence, that sense of confidence, that is so critical. And why we need to be assertive. Why we need to be assertive, especially in relationships. Are you ready? The first reason why we need to be assertive, I said this earlier, we are not mind readers. We are not mind readers. So kung gusto mo ng kape, sabihin mo gusto ko ng kape. Kung gusto ko ng ganito, gusto ko ng ganito. And that is very critical. It's not going to be mean hindi nakakahiya. Hindi nakakahiya yan. You just need to explicitly ask for what you want. Okay, next. We are unique. Iba-iba tayo ng pinanggagalingan and actually asserting ourselves. The why we should assert ourselves, I am different. Hindi porke gusto niya, gusto ko rin. At the same time, I value myself. I value myself. The next reason why assertiveness is very healthy in relationships is because we adults, especially adults, are capable of making our own decisions. 'Di ba? We are capable of making our own decisions. We have our own preferences. So, If somebody keeps deciding for you, you have to start asserting yourself. If your spouse is deciding for you, you have to tell them that, wait, that's not what I really like. This is what I like. Eh kung nakapag-desisyon na, yes, I like it na kapag-desisyon ka na, but next time I would appreciate it if you would ask me first because I have another take, I have another belief, I have another option on that. So that we are capable of making decisions, and that's why we need to assert for what is really inside us. And the fourth one, we want to stay clear of annoyances. Ibig sabihin, ayaw natin mainis ng mainis. Bakit? Hindi nyo ba napansin, other people who lacks assertiveness, pag tinanong, tapos ang dami nilang hanash, ang dami nilang issue sa loob, and then you start asking them, ba't hindi mo sinabi? Yung boss ko ganito, yung office mate ko ganito. They keep complaining about other people. They keep complaining about circumstances. Even with the people, even with their partner, they keep complaining about their circumstances. But what is lacking is that, did you ever assert about your circumstances? Did you ever tell the people who's affecting you, you are affecting me? I like it. As Car, talagang bibang-biba ka today. Assertive na assertive ka. Ask for anything you want and truly it works. I told my husband I need a dishwasher. Thanks be to God, my husband. Prayers answered. Yes. 'Di ba? Totoo yan. That's a culture that it's not healthy. Ang daming hanash pag nasa gilid, and you tend to become toxic. You don't want, other people might be happy to hear you, but they don't happy to hear you every day because you're complaining about your circumstances to other people, but you don't actually deal with your own situation by becoming assertive. So, if you would, ayaw mo na may mainis at mabwisit at magkaroon ng mas marami pang hanas sa buhay. If you want to live longer, if you want to be healthier, if you want to let yourself be free of emotional burdens, of annoyances and irritants, you have to assert yourself. You have to assert yourself. Uh, Problems will not ease up when we just keep hiding things. But problems may have more possibilities of being troubleshoot if we have assertiveness skills. Another thing, we are capable of making decisions. We have a voice. We have our own thoughts and actions, and that alone are very good reason why we should assert ourselves. And I would like you to end this, to end with this note, but we will continue the discussion on Thursday. Healthy relationship is actually, we need to learn how to assert our needs in the relationship because that's how we take the route to becoming healthier. Healthy relationship does not mean there's lack of conflict, that there's peace. Yung toxic culture natin na para walang away, para walang gulo. No, sometimes, remember, we're not being aggressive. We just need to rock a boat. We just need to rock the boat. We just need to make our voice heard. We just need to assert. Eh paano kung hindi naman niya sundin? Saka na natin problemahin. Pero di ba ang mahalaga yung nailabas natin kasi kailangan nilang malaman na, hey, this is how you're affecting me and I'm not tolerating that. Because healthy relationships, our goal always is to be more loving. Our goal always is to be kinder. Our goal always is to have better, open, healthier communication. And given that, kaya kailangan natin, we need to learn how to assert healthily. Because if not, how can we troubleshoot the relationship? How can we navigate conflicts and problems that happen if we do not do that? Problems will not ease up if we keep hiding things. Yes, Car, we have a voice, very well-sounded voice. Totoo yan. So now, friends, I said the why. We are not mind readers. We are unique. We are capable of making decisions and our own preferences, and we want to stay clear of annoyances. That is why we need to have healthier relationships by being assertive. So, friends, ano ang kailangan ko lang sabihin, ang ganda ng necklace mo diyan. Baka naman, assertive baka mo. Ay, sorry, regalo rin lang 'to. So kahit mag-assert ka diyan, friend, sige lang, mag-assert ka lang. Love pa rin kita, pero there's only one piece left, and that's mine. Okay. So now, I would like, friends, ang dami yung nanonood, pero si Carl lang yung dumadaldal. Siya lang ba yung assertive dito? If there's one takeaway that if there's one takeaway that you can capture for today, and we will extend the conversation on Thursday. Can you put here in the chat? Pakilagay dyan, ano yung reason, what is that big message that you captured for today? And we will continue the discussion on Thursday. And while I wait, of course, I will ask you to join me here at Coffee Break by also supporting me through this work that I do by sending stars. Yes, let's call it supporting stars. Ibig sabihin, when you see that stars button there, that's the digital gifts, and that is a way for you to support me in what I'm doing here at Coffee Break. So my live stream, all the tech that I'm spending for, that's a way for me to continue doing it. So please share your love. If you are blessed, bless me also, and bless the people that I work with by sharing stars. And another thing, I would like to invite everyone to my favorite life-changing conference called the Feast Conference. I'll be one of the masterclass speakers of the Feast Conference. I'm so excited for this. This will happen on November 19, 20, and 21. It's a 3-day life-changing event, of course. Feast Conference will be online. So if you are interested, for 3 days, spend for yourself, invest in your faith, invest in your well-being, invest in your life and other areas of your life, you can get your tickets at feastconference.com. And we are so happy that the theme this year is joyful, joyful. Excited kami dyan. So please, friends, for those of you who are followers of Coffee Break, do join us. I would really recommend you to attend the Feast Conference. And then uh, lastly, I hope that you share this topic to family and friends. Send your stars, join us for the Peace Conference, and most importantly, leave here your comments, suggestions, or insights about this topic. And then join me again on Thursday for the continuation of our topic on being assertive. Iwanan nga ako kayo ng tanong. Friend, nag-assert ka na ba? Kung nag-assert ka na, did you ever get what you need? Share with me your thoughts. This is Dr. Michele Alignay for Coffee Break. God bless you. Assertiveness is not aggressiveness, it's a key to better relationship. Thank you.